There comes a point in every journey when waiting begins to feel unbearable. You've prayed. You've trusted. You've held on through storms that no one else saw. And yet the answer still hasn't come. The silence stretches on, and you start to wonder if you were ever meant to receive what you've been hoping for. But hear this truth: the waiting has not been wasted. What you thought was delay was actually design. What felt like being forgotten was sacred preparation. And now, the time has come for you to see why the wait was always worth it. You see, the universe, Krishna, the divine, never rushes what is meant to last. What's eternal cannot be hurried. Every moment you spent in stillness, every tear you shed in uncertainty, every prayer you whispered in the dark, it was shaping you, stretching you, and aligning you with something far greater than what you once asked for. You thought the wait was punishment? It wasn't. It was love, deep, patient, and protective love. Because if you had received what you wanted when you first asked for it, you would have received it too soon. You wouldn't have been ready to hold it. The gift would have come before the foundation. In love, purpose, peace, they cannot survive on fragile ground. So the universe paused. Krishna waited. He waited until you grew roots strong enough to hold the blessings that were coming. The wait wasn't empty. It was sacred construction. Every unanswered prayer was being carved into perfection behind the scenes. You couldn't see it, but the divine was rearranging people, timing, and paths. He was protecting you from what wasn't aligned, even when it broke your heart. He was pruning your garden so that what truly belongs could bloom in season. And now that season is here? The chapter you're stepping into is not random. It's the culmination of everything you've endured, everything you've learned, and everything you've let go of. You're not being rewarded. You're being revealed. You've evolved into someone who can finally receive what you prayed for without losing yourself in it. You've built strength through struggle, wisdom through waiting, and depth through disappointment. You've learned to trust not just when things make sense, but when they don't. That's why the wait was necessary. Because the person you were before the storm couldn't have held what's coming next. But the person you've become, calm, patient, faithful, can. There were times you thought you lost everything. Times when doors slammed shut without warning. Times when you felt like you were walking in circles, trying to find meaning in the silence. But what you didn't realize is that even in the silence, Krishna was speaking. Even in the loss, he was leading. Even in the waiting, he was weaving. He didn't forget you. He was forming you. You were never abandoned. You were being refined. The universe didn't stop listening. It was preparing your heart to receive the answer fully. And now, when it comes, it will come in a way that will make sense of every delay, every detour, every sleepless night. You'll look back and realize that every not yet was a trust me. Every pause was an act of love. Every unanswered prayer was a promise being perfected. You see, divine timing doesn't work like human timing. We live by clocks. The divine works by rhythm. Krishna doesn't measure time in days or hours. He measures in growth. He waits for your spirit to align with your destiny. And when it does, the shift happens in an instant. What once felt impossible becomes effortless. That's where you are now, right on the edge of the breakthrough you've been waiting for. This is not coincidence. This is convergence. Everything is aligning. The timing, the energy, the readiness, the faith. It may not happen the way you expect, but it will happen exactly the way it's meant to. The wait was long, yes, but it's about to be worth it. Because the peace that's coming will make you forget the nights you cried. The love that's arriving will make you grateful for the ones who walked away. The purpose that's unfolding will make you understand why you were hidden for so long. You thought you were being delayed, but you were being developed. You were being strengthened for something sacred. And now, the divine is whispering, you've done enough waiting. You've grown enough in silence. Now it's time to see why it all had to take this long. Every seed planted in faith blooms in divine timing. And while you were waiting, your roots went deep. You learned how to stay still when the world told you to hurry. You learned how to find peace in uncertainty. You learned how to let go of what wasn't aligned and trust that something better would come. That is the beauty of waiting. It teaches you how to listen. When nothing moves, you begin to hear the softest voice of all, the one that says, "Be still. I am working." You may not have seen progress, but the progress was within you. You became patient where you used to be restless, compassionate where you used to be afraid, wise where you used to be uncertain. That's why you had to wait, so that when the blessing arrives, it won't just change your life, it will flow through you to bless others. Every delay had purpose. Every detour was direction. Every ending was protection. You're not behind. You're right on time. The divine doesn't make mistakes, only masterpieces that take time to unfold. So when it finally happens, when the doors open, when the message comes, when the answer arrives, you'll understand. You'll look back and smile through tears, whispering, "Now I see why it had to be this way." You'll realize that nothing was lost, only transformed. Nothing was wasted, only rearranged. Nothing was delayed, only divinely timed. There's something beautiful about waiting when you finally understand. It's not waiting, it's preparation. The universe was never keeping you from your destiny. It was preparing your destiny for you. You think you've been standing still, but you've been moving in ways you can't yet see. Every lesson, every heartbreak, every quiet night built the strength you now carry. And soon that strength will meet its purpose. When Krishna blesses, he doesn't just give, he multiplies. He restores with interest. That's why your next chapter will feel heavier with light, fuller, deeper, richer. It will make up for every tear and every year you thought you lost. He is about to show you that nothing you went through was for nothing. Every pain had purpose. Every pause had protection. You thought you were stuck, but you were being sanctified. You thought you were forgotten, but you were being favored. Now all that's left to do is receive. Take a deep breath. Can you feel it? That calm that's settling into your chest. That's not imagination. That's alignment. You're entering the moment you've prayed for, not because you chased it, but because you became ready for it. This peace, this lightness, this clarity, it's the first sign of answered prayer. Everything you've been waiting for is finding its way to you now. And when it arrives, it will not feel rushed or forced. It will feel natural, familiar, like it was always meant to be. You won't have to question it. You'll just know. Because divine timing doesn't need explanation, it carries its own certainty. So this is your reminder, your confirmation, your sign. You didn't wait in vain. You didn't trust for nothing. You didn't believe for no reason. You're standing on the edge of your turning point, the threshold between what was and what's coming. And what's coming is so aligned, so beautiful, so perfect, it will make every second of waiting make sense. You will see that nothing was delayed. It was only timed. Nothing was denied. It was refined. The wait was never a test of patience. It was a lesson in trust. Krishna always fulfills his promises, not when you want, but when you're ready. And now you are ready. Ready to receive. Ready to see. Ready to understand. The silence was sacred. The stillness was holy. The waiting was worship. Now comes revelation. You're about to witness how every unanswered prayer, every painful pause, every silent night was guiding you toward something that could not have existed without the wait. So look at where you are. You made it through what you thought you couldn't. You survived seasons that tried to break you. You grew roots that no storm could pull from the ground. And now the universe is smiling. Krishna is whispering, "See? I told you I was preparing something better. This right here is the moment you've been praying for. The waiting season is ending. The receiving season is beginning. The light that's about to enter your life will be so powerful. You'll forget how dark it ever was. The peace that's coming will stay longer than the pain ever did. The blessings that are arriving will overflow. Because you've learned not to hold, but to share. And when it happens, you'll understand the words whispered in silence all along. I wasn't punishing you with waiting. I was protecting you while I prepared your miracle. Now it's time. Time to open your hands. Time to receive what's always been yours. Time to see that nothing, not one tear, not one delay, was wasted. Because everything was leading you here, to this moment, to this understanding, to this peace, And now, the divine says, I'm about to show you why the wait was worth it.